Hi guys, it's Tina.
And Mary.
And this is Bird Barf.
Yay!
Yay! And we're going to review the X-Files coming out
Announcement.
Apparently the X-Files is gay. Oops.
Either way.
So we're very excited.
We're so excited.
Yes. Literally this podcast is just because we're excited about it.
Yes.
We have nothing really new.
This is the most formless one you're going to get from us. And I know we've... If you haven't figured out that we like the X-Files yet, you've clearly not
listened to anything.
Yes.
So you're basically the entire population of the world.
Yes.
Haven't listened to our podcast.
So yes, if you're coming in now, no worries. But we did, our second episode was The Fall, Gillian Anderson. Third episode was David Duchovny. Our next one is actually going to be Gillian Anderson's book. So then we promise we'll move on to other things. We have other things, maybe.
Unless David Duchovny and or Gillian Anderson do something else.
David Duchovny does a CD.
He has that TV show that's coming out.
Aquarius,
so
I want to see that. Yes.
We'll do a podcast on that.
We'll do that.
Eventually.
And then maybe when his CD comes out.
What do you mean a CD?
He is putting out a music CD called Hell or High Water.
Oh, God.
I know. So that might happen. But yes, we're really excited, and we figured we'd do this podcast now anyway, because Assistant Director Skinner and the Cigarette Smoking Man both have been approved for, they both have agreed to come back. I know, I love Skinner. And I love the Cigarette Smoking Man.
Yeah, well,
and the thing is...
he's necessary.
Yeah, he's horrible, but he's great, you know. Because, there was season 9 was the last official season, then there was the movie, and they actually do have season 10 in comic book form. Because I saw people going, well, how could the Cigarette Smoking Man be back? And he's back in the comics. I've only read the first... set of whatever goes into the first anthology, but he's in it. As are the Lone Gunmen, so fingers crossed that the Lone Gunmen will be back. Reyes and Doggett are also in the comic book series, and I know those two for sure are in talks to come to the miniseries.
So does it have anything to do with the comics? Like, are the comics like an accepted...
Yeah, because they're written by Chris Carter, or at least written with his,
Is Chris Carter gonna be
Chris Carter is
miniseries?
Miniseries. So
cool.
Everything should somehow be connected, I think.
Are they gonna make the comics, or are they gonna start after?
No, I think it's gonna be afterwards.
Oh, okay.
And like I said, I'm not caught up in the comic right now because I went through my weird comic phase and then abruptly stopped for no good reason. So I have to catch up. So if someone else knows more, they can say. And it'll be really exciting because why should I have a comment on one of our things? But yeah, so we're really excited because the X-Files are... awesome.
Once we know when it's going to come out, we'll also probably review each of the seasons or a best of the season or ramble on about everything in one podcast because that's what we do.
Yeah.
Where this is a review of season 1 and I like season 3 because of this.
Yeah, knowing us, we'll be like, you know what happened in season 8 and we're supposed to be talking about season 2.
Yeah.
But if nothing else, we were kind of thinking we might do, so once we find out the date it's coming, we'll do top 5 of each season or something, which we could also do the worst 5 of each season. The episode Space comes to mind in general. But,
I mean, I don't know that I could pick a bottom 5 in the last few seasons, so...
That's true.
The bottom 20!
5, the bottom all of them.
Yes. But regardless, we will review the seasons.
Yeah, something in some way reviewing the seasons. We'll go through it. Maybe by then I'll have read all the comic books and we'll randomly do a review of the comics. I guess once we figure out how connected...
possibilities are endless.
Yeah, how connected the whole thing is going to be. Can you think of anyone else who should come back? Krychek's dead, isn't he? That doesn't seem to matter. Krychek would be cool to see again for a minute.
I can't remember anything. Anybody?
No. I want Doggett, and I want Reyes. I know a lot of people didn't like them because, yes, it was the time when David Duchovny decided he was going to go off and make movies. I really liked Doggett.
I liked them. I just thought the series sucked.
Yeah, the series wasn't good. But Reyes is pretty kick-ass. So the two of them, I hope they come back.
I'd be okay with them being there. It was just they were not a good enough substitute for the Scully Mulder.
Well, and then they also did the flashback. All of that was just handled poorly. It's like, by the way, there's been a relationship too. Yay! And you're just like, this is so emotionally unfulfilling. But,
Yeah.
So, do you want it to be mythology or do you just want it to be Monster of the Week?
I mean, I wouldn't mind either. You almost want it to be mythology, but I feel like they've done such a weird, they've done weird things with mythology. The last episode of the last season I thought was kind of it just becomes kind of strange, and it also becomes, you kind of like mystery. I kind of like with stuff like that, if you explain too much, then it becomes you can't suspend reality as much.
Well, and then they start getting caught up in their own logic. I feel like that's especially what the X-Files did. So, to be honest, I always liked the monster ones. The one-off sort of just weird.
There are just so many good ones.
Yeah.
I think that it probably needs a little bit something more than that. You can't just come back and do 6 monsters. It needs to have something, but I would be okay if they got rid rid of some of the previous.
Yeah.
And maybe it's just some other scenario that really has nothing to do with. I'd be okay with that, honestly.
I feel like it'd be kind of funny because we know that, Scully is still practicing medicine. She's still at, that she was at the Children's Hospital, and Mulder's basically like growing a beard and writing a book, which he occasionally shakes off. But it'd be kind of funny if like on the weekends he's just like, "Hey Scully, weird case," and like he's dragging her places, and like it winds up leading to something.
Yeah.
And while they're investigating like these weird hobby mysteries, they'll run into Doggett, they could run into Skinner, and then as things build, it could become.
Yeah, I kind of imagine it'll probably be something similar to like Torchwood, like the children season, or the aging backwards. I feel like it might be something like that, where it's like its own contained like story.
Yeah, probably. I just really like the idea of retired Mulder with a beard. And like, look, Scully, there's a monster in the lake. Like, it just. She's like, God damn it, Mulder. Either way. I don't know when it's coming out, but whatever day it is, I'll probably take the whole day off from work and just call in sick.
Yes, and I will be at Mary's house, and then we will make a podcast.
Yeah, we'll be screaming. You'll have like an 80-hour podcast of us just screaming about the X-Files.
Yes.
Which is essentially what this is right now.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, this is a preview for what will be coming.
Yes.
You're welcome for the warning.
Yes.
Right.
And thank you for listening to us.
Yes. We're barfing in excitement for sure.
Yes, obviously.
All right. Bye.
Bye.